Welcome back to my channel. Now I'm not going to waste any time today blabbing your ear off. We're just going to go ahead and get in this kitchen and see what's cooking. Come on. These are the items you're going to need for this recipe. If there's one that you do not have and you feel like you can leave it out, or you have a substitution, improvise. Use something else if you have it. It's just like, mine doesn't call for a jalapeno. It calls for green and red bell pepper and onion. And that's fine. I have onion, but I didn't have any green bell pepper. I dug this red bell pepper out of a frozen pack of stir-fry veggies because I don't have red bell pepper. I'm not going to the store. And I did want red bell pepper in mine. You can leave it out if you want to. That's all right. Mine, it also calls for rotel tomatoes. I have rotel, but I'm only going to need a half a can. And I have no use for the other half of the can here in the next few days, so I didn't want to open it. But I do have salsa that's hanging out in my fridge, so I'm going to improvise. I'm going to use salsa instead of rotel tomatoes. So improvise any way you can. Make do with what you have. Let's get in this kitchen and get this recipe started. Now, I apologize for my voice this morning if it sounds a little off. I woke up this morning trying to lose my voice today, so I don't know what's going on, but here we go. Now, I'm going to be making half of a recipe because I'm cooking it just for me. And even at half a recipe, it's going to yield me some leftovers, which I am perfectly fine with in this case. I love a good casserole, especially a good Mexican casserole. So, we're going to take an 8x8 Pyrex. Take whatever you got, whatever dish, pan, doesn't matter. You're going to spray it with some cooking spray, and you're going to set it to the side. You want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees and get you some sort of mixing bowl. Now, if you feel like you have room in your casserole dish that you're going to be using to mix all this together, you feel free. But I know me, and if I try to do that, I'm going to have a mess all over the place. I don't care to clean that up. I would rather put another bowl in the dishwasher. So, we're going with a mixing bowl. You're going to need about 2 cups of shredded cooked chicken. Now, mine's not shredded, but it is cooked. I'm going to be using this chicken right here. Now, if you've been watching for any length of time, you know I keep this. I buy it when it goes BOGO at Publix, and I use a coupon, and I'm able to get it for about 99 cents a bag. So I buy it up, and I put it in my freezer. Well, I thawed some of this out, and I'm just going to use this whole bag. I'm just going to dump that right in the bowl. Now I am going to take my chicken and I'm going to break it up into smaller pieces. Kind of shred it up myself just a little bit. I want smaller bite size. You can leave it like that if you want to. You can shred your chicken. You can leave it in bigger chunks. It don't really matter. You make it how you want to make it. There are no set rules. When I cook, I just cook how I want to cook. And I suggest you do the same because it makes for a much better experience in the kitchen when you don't get so uptight about following all those kitchen rules that people tell you you have to go by. Free yourself. Free yourself in the kitchen and cook how you want to cook. Now you're going to take you a cup of instant rice. It don't matter what brand, off-brand, minute rice, Success, don't matter. But it needs to be instant rice. And you're going to take that 1 cup, pour it in that bowl. Now you're going to take about a half a can of cream of chicken soup, and you're going to put that in that bowl too. Just like this. Now I'm going to put the rest of this in my refrigerator because I've got another use for it here in the next day or two. It calls for a half a cup of sour cream. I've got some sour cream hanging out in my fridge. That is probably around a half a cup. I'm just going to put the whole thing in there. I'm not even going to measure it. And yes, I'm going to use that same spoon. Now I'm going to chop me up a little bit of onion. Now I've got me a small jalapeno that I have sliced open and I've de-seeded. But I'm just going to get this sliced up just in little strips. You slice yours, dice yours, cut it however you want to. There we go. We're going to put this with this, and we're going to throw it in this bowl. Now if you have rotel and want to use the rotel, you're going to use about 5 ounces, a half a can of rotel. Well, I have rotel, I'm not using it. I'm going to use this salsa, and I'm just going to eyeball it, and I'm just going to put some in, just however much I decide I want. And it's going to be okay, I promise. We're going to go with that much. It's going to be delicious. Now you want to take about 3/4 of a cup of chicken broth. Now I'm going to use this because it's in my pantry and it does need to be used up. So I'm going to go ahead and use this. You know, a lot of times I just use the bouillon powder or even bouillon cubes, or I might even use a ramen seasoning package. You never know about me. But I have this and it needs to be used. I rotate through things in my pantry. They don't just sit. So this is what we're using today. It's almost a half a can, not quite. I'm going to put the rest of this in the fridge. It's going to hang out in there with my cream of chicken soup I had left, and I have a use for that, for both of them, in another video. So hold tight. Alright, now you want to take your chicken broth and you just want to pour it in that bowl. Now you want to take some fajita seasoning if you got it, and I happen to have some. So I'm going to go ahead and use half of this pack in this recipe, and I'll put the rest of it in just a zippy bag, and I'll put it back in my pantry in here in my kitchen, and I'll use it for something later. Things don't go to waste around here. So half a pack of your fajita seasoning. Now if you don't have a pack, get up in your pantry, get up in your cabinet, and see what you got. Go on Pinterest, or you can Google you a recipe for homemade fajita seasoning. And if you've got cumin and salt and pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, chili powder, all them different things, I guarantee you can make you some fajita seasoning. And now you want to take you some cheese. It calls for a Mexican blend, and I just happen to have the Mexican blend because that's the only kind I buy most of the time. I use this for everything. So you're going to take about a half a cup and you're going to put in this bowl. Now when it comes to cheese, a lot of times you won't see me measure. Why? Because I love cheese. And if it has extra cheese, I'm good with that. We'll call that a half a cup. Now you just want to give this a good old mix, stir it around, get all of those ingredients thoroughly combined. It's going to be a little soupy, and that's fine. That's what you want, because that rice is going to have to cook in there. Just get it all mixed up. Now y'all, the recipe don't call for this, but I just can't help myself. I love a good kick to my food, especially if it's supposed to be Mexican food. I know I put fresh jalapeno in, but I did de-seed that thing. So it may not have the kind of kick I want. So we're going to put some of these in there. Now I'm not going to chop them up. I'm just going to throw me a little with the juice in there. I think that'll do it. Okay, let me get those jalapenos mixed up in there. Okay, now you're going to take this and you're going to pour it in your casserole dish. Then you want to spread this out evenly in your dish. And see how much this makes. Now, this is going to feed me a few times. And that's okay. I can eat this with salad. I can put this in a tortilla and make me a burrito with this if I wanted to. You can eat it with tortilla chips and sauce on the side. Or some tortilla chips with some white queso, some good old dip. That white cheese dip, that's my favorite. Just spread it out evenly. Now you're going to pop that in a 350 degree oven for 25 minutes. Let's go. There's my cue. And there's my cue. Let's get this out of the oven. Y'all look at this. Oh my goodness. This smells so good. Now we're not finished. Okay? Hold tight. Now the recipe says to take another half a cup of cheese and sprinkle it on the top. And now who am I to argue with a recipe, okay? Besides, I love cheese. So you don't have to do this if you don't want to. Now you do this however you want to do it. But I'm going to put some more cheese on top. I'm following the rules on this one. I'm just going to kind of spread that out. Now I'm going to pop this back in the oven for about 5 to 10 minutes. We're going to let that cheese melt down. Y'all look at this. Oh my word. This looks so delicious. Now I've never eaten this, so I'm going to do a taste test for you here. I don't know, in just a little bit. We're going to have to let this bad boy cool down because it is just bubbly hot up in there. And we're going to set it over here and let it cool for at least 5 minutes, if not 10. I don't know if I can wait 10 minutes. This is my brunch for the day, my first meal of the day, so we'll see. Let's let it cool. We're going to get some of this casserole and put it in this bowl. It's probably not cool enough yet. We'll get this little corner right here. Look at that. This smells absolutely out of this world. Let's give it a taste. Okay, y'all. We're going to give this a taste test. Now, I don't know if you can see that real well, but this looks so good. And it smells divine. It is just, oh wow. It's still kind of hot. Now, I told y'all I didn't know if I could wait or not. And I may regret this, but we're going to try to get a bite of this. See what it tastes like. Because I've never eaten this. Never cooked it. You gotta make this right here. You can easily double this recipe. And I'm going to leave this recipe in the description box. This is a chicken fajita casserole. This is delicious. I don't know where this has been all my life, but this will definitely be a repeat. Now, Keith's not here. He's still working out of town. He would love this. Now, if I know him, he likes chicken. But if I know him, he would love this in a beef version. Because if he eats Mexican, he always chooses beef over chicken. So I'll have to make this for him in a beef version. And I might have to video that one for you and show you what I'm going to use for it, because I already know my little brain has already been working on that one. So, sweetheart, when you watch this video, just know I got you. I got you. And I'm going to make this for you. Now, you can eat this casserole by itself because it can stand alone on its own. Okay? But If you just want to venture out and try you something different, make it a different way, or you're going to have leftovers. If you live by yourself and you cook this, the size I made, you're going to have leftovers. No doubt. So, throw you some in a tortilla and make you a burrito, just to mix it up a little bit. Or, I've got this huge bag of salad, so I'm probably going to eat mine with a little side salad. Or, these need to be eaten, but they're not going to be eaten today with this. Maybe tomorrow. Get you some tortilla chips if you got some hanging out in your cabinet, in your pantry. Eat this with some salsa or some cheese dip alongside your chicken fajita casserole. Or use these to dip your chicken fajita casserole and eat it that way. I don't care how you eat it. This right here is going to be good. I'm going to go eat. Now I'm over here eating my casserole. Eating my chicken fajita casserole. And I was watching some YouTube while I'm eating my brunch. If y'all hadn't checked out Grandma Teresa, y'all need to go on over to her channel. Check it out. She today has made a pizza casserole, and whoo-wee, that thing looked good. Okay? Yesterday, I think she made, it was chili cheese dogs, but she used something different instead of a bun. I'm not going to tell y'all what it was. You're going to have to go on over, check her channel out. I'll leave her linked in the description box below. Go show her some love. Tell her I sent you over there. Go check her out. Grandma Teresa is a sweetheart. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please go give it a like, share the video, leave me a comment below, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you in the next one.